Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
You gonna go can. You got that right there.
Passing, it's Dalton. Flushed out right. Got an open man, that's C.J. Uzama. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
He's checking crowd. Switch.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Dalton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. Dalton here from the gun. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First carry for James Conner. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Ready? 180. You better bring it. You better bring it. You better lock it.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Conner. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, here I come. Here I come.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Set! 230. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. That's complete to his running back, Grant. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Andrew Billings drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Being chased out left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage, and anybody could run them down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A 3-yard touchdown run. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break.
We got this.
The Bengals drive about to get going. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
First down, Cincinnati.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Check 24. Check 24.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Dalton under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Cameron Hayward showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Let's get it.
Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards, the final tally. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Black 20. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Black is third.
On 2nd down, it's Grant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points so you know that.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived, as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Hey.
Throwing again. Dalton. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. So Dalton now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Returnable for Grant. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row.
Coming to you. Man,
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Grant. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Corey Grant. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. to throw again. Dalton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Dalton now to pass. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. The final act of the first half, Dalton. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. So it's on to halftime of this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This will be taken very short, and they're going to have lousy starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 6-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Try to sit on a lead and play that way. That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is Grant. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Leads to 3rd and 11.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down.
Under 10. Under 10.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Pick the edge. Come. General West.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And Dalton to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. T.J. Watt gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Dalton. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 2nd down now. It's Connor, and nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice pitch, man.
3rd and
8. All right, now. Black 30. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Hey, alert.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald there to make the grab. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Watch twits. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Operating from the gun, Dalton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
Get ready. At their own 13-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger will hand a counter. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Again, it's counter. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, 58 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Grant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They will run with Grant. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Black 20. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Dalton. Steps away to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. He's got his man, Boyd. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 2nd and 10, Dalton dancing to his left. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and the catch good. It's Eifert. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. A pair of 1st downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
93, 52, 93, 44, 44. There you go. Hands up.
This will be Dalton again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game.
At the 36-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's Roethlisberger. They're going to set up the screen here. This is Grant. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Dalton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. 368.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Bud Dupree. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The rookie from Michigan there defensively, that's Devin Bush making the play.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
2 by 2. Move. 26 months.
Operating from the gun. Dalton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth-quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Oswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. They find some open field here.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This will be taken short. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Target. Hey, check right. Watching you five. Hey, come on,
Throwing again. Dalton, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here's another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.